Alright, let's see if we can bag this bitch. You lie in bed and stare at the ceiling, thinking about the secret you discovered while tasting Colonel Sanders' cooking yesterday. You can't believe he really used crack! And then there was that great secret ingredient. There's no great in that sentence. The fuck am I on? That Colonel Sanders went ahead and told you outright. Not much of a secret, huh? Probably just because he already trusts you so much. You big-headed. You gotta get your ass to calm down. Sure, that makes sense. We'll go with that. You meet up with your bestie in front of the school. Before you can tell her about the encounter with the Spork monster, she launches into a story of her own.
Okay, I know this might sound a little strange, but I think I might be,
Pregnant? Clang works fast.
I think I might like Clank.
Like him? Like?
I know it sounds like it's moving too fast, but there's just something about him. I like him. Like him. We got to talking after class, and he's actually a totally sweet guy. Not only that, but he's really smart. He told me all kinds of stories about Colonel Sanders. Did you know that Colonel Sanders was the most popular kid in his high school?
No, but that does make complete sense.
Yeah, but he was so popular that he was voted prom king at a school he didn't even go to. And was also the convertible. What? That he made himself, what? That he himself rode in at the front of the homecoming parade.
I'm thinking maybe something got lost in the pressure cooking language translation there. Either way, maybe it'd be best if you took it slow with this new boy, like I am with Colonel Sanders.
You and Colonel Sanders, the coolest guy in school, the most famous student to ever attend University of Cooking School Academy for Learning, you're a thing now?
We definitely connected yesterday.
Sure you did, you're great. Why wouldn't he be into you? I guess.
Bitch. Laughing at the implication that you and Colonel Sanders might be a thing is definitely not cool. You are great. You have an idea about how to prove that your love is real. Well, if he's not into me, why didn't he tell me one of his secret ingredients? However, you don't tell her that you know a second ingredient too, which you discovered on your own. Your bestie's eyes light up.
A secret ingredient?
Yes, I just said that. A secret ingredient. Is there a dramatic echo in here? Miriam checks to make sure you're alone before continuing.
So this summer, while I was on vacation with my family, a lovely man approached me in a botanical garden where I was wandering.
What the fuck is this? This can't be good.
He told me all about his passion for spices. Secret spices. The man even gave me some to show me what he meant. He said it was a powder created from super duper rare dried flower petals, and that if I did him a big favor, I could have some of my own.
Please, Miriam, don't tell me you sucked this dig from the bag. Double gog 3000.
So I filled my suitcase with them and brought them home. He was so nice, he even met me at a gate when I arrived. Later, when I cooked with them, a very strange feeling came over me, and the flavor was unlike anything I'd ever tasted.
I think you're being very liberal with the meaning of spices here.
Whatever. Anyhow, we both shared an interest in cooking, so we stayed in touch, you know, pen pals. I bet he would love to know more about new spices.
Well, I'm definitely not supposed to share Colonel Sanders' secret recipe, and besides, I only know the one ingredient. So I doubt it'd be much use to anyone.
Please, please, please! It would mean the world to me. No one has to know it came from you, or from Colonel Sanders.
What do you think? Should you protect Colonel Sanders' secret? I'm protecting the secret, bro. You like robots, you're a psycho. You quickly think of a fake ingredient name, I don't know, how about, it was Eye of Newt. I know, sounds like some kind of witch's potion, but what can you do?
Eye of Newt, wow!
Her eyes light up imagining such a thing, and you figure that you've satisfied her curiosity, and she'll move on. However, she immediately turns around and does some thumb typing on her phone that you can't quite see. That's probably not good. Before you can ask her to confirm that she was definitely not texting secrets to other people, you're interrupted. A wind rushes in, cherry blossoms. Here he is. He's coming. What the fuck? It's Colonel Sanders. He's arriving at school. Run to him. You decide that the best way to show Miriam how serious you and Colonel Sanders are would be to run to him. Surely he'll sweep you up on the back of the stallion, and you'll ride away together. That'll show her good. Oh, Colonel, my Colonel. However, your sudden movement surprised the horse, and it rears up, kicking you directly in the face. The force of the blow completely knocks you out cold. In the darkness, you see a vision. Ooh, but I'm here to deliver a message. Not this dude. It is important that you remember this exactly as I say it. If you forget, the world could end, so you know it's serious. I have been trapped in a realm beyond, but a great prophecy relies on my return. Only you can save me. All you need to do is repeat my name 3 times. And that name is... Before you can continue, you suddenly awake. You awake to find Colonel Sanders tending to you. He roused you back to life with a satchel of secret spices. Or is that just his natural seasoned musk? He roused you... Wait, I'm sorry. Why am I leaning in for a kiss? Maybe he shouldn't be riding a horse to school, and maybe you shouldn't be running up to animals you don't know. It's hard to say who is in the wrong here. One thing is for sure, Colonel Chandler's is pretty dreamy. That horse has beautiful shoes. I could really feel how smooth and sturdy they were when they were pressing onto my face. That's nice to hear. No one truly appreciates good craftsmanship anymore. And with that, Colonel Sanders disappears into the school, leaving you and Miriam to follow. When you enter the classroom, you can see your two rivals, Ashley and Van Van, are doing something bad. By the way they're hiding, you know it must be really bad. Like counterfeiting recipes bad, experimenting with restricted ingredients bad, summoning a demon bad. You try and get a peek over Van Van's hulking shoulder, but he sees you coming. Whoa there, little one. I'm not sure you're ready to handle this. Why don't you make like a bee and mind your own wax, honey? The fuck are you talking to me about? Stop acting immature. You immediately dress the rivals down for their immature behavior, damn fuck. Culinary school is to be respected. This kind of nonsense is a waste of everybody's time. Now you've upset them. Oh, and you're the emperor of cooking, are you? You make the rules? I'm not sure you know a good meal even if it hates you. What? Being the best chef in the world takes more than just culinary skills. It takes creativity. It takes panache. And it doesn't hurt to use a little evil. You finally get a look at what they were hiding, and you instantly recognize it. It's a book, just like the one you found after the encounter with the spork monster. That's the same book that I found last night in the quad. Ashley immediately elbows Van Van, who hides the book behind his bag. I don't know what you're talking about. That book is a family heirloom, and its contents are secret. You notice that they haven't just been studying the book. They've got Pop pinned to the wall, and they're tossing potato skins at him as he tries to catch them in his mouth. We're playing. Before you can dig in any further, you're interrupted by the arrival of more students. It's almost time for class. Clank must be running late. He's in such a hurry that he rolls right over Van Van's meaty foot. Hey, watch it, you bucket of bolts. You watch how you talk to him. He didn't do anything. Who do you think you're talking to? I've never heard such language, not even from a stand mixer. No, your mother was a stand mixer. Van Van jumps. Okay. To attack Clank, but Clank shocks Van Van, sending him flying across the room. Protect me, Colonel Sanders. These crazed men are about to come to blows. I think it must be over me. But I'm not interested in either of them. Ashley's tone has completely changed in an instant. She bats her eyelashes at Colonel Sanders. Surely he must know this is a ruse, right? Gentlemen, get a hold of yourself. Leave it for the arena at least. Or don't, honestly. What do I care? I've got lofty career aspirations to focus on. Maybe I can help you with your business plan. Just then, Sprinkles arrives to signal the true start of the class day. He's panting, which doesn't seem that abnormal. He's a professor, but I mean, he's also a dog. Students, please take your seats. I apologize for my late arrival. I spent the morning chasing a car all around town, and my tiny legs are very, very tired. But I'm here now, and I hope you're ready to learn. Rub his furry dog belly. He loves it. Sprinkles stops in his tracks and sniffs the air around you. Something has him in a trance. It's the scent left on you from Colonel Sanders. Sprinkle jumps on you and licks your face. Down, boy. Down. Left open. That command shouted by Colonel Sanders as snapped Sprinkles out of his trance. I wonder what's up with that. Sorry, I got a little carried away. After he catches his breath, Sprinkle regains control of the classroom. Without further ado, we'll review the global history of my favorite fowl, the chicken.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the?
You want to pay attention to the lesson, truly you do. Which is why in 1776, the signing of the Declaration of Independence, it was a chicken first on the deck. But you can't help but daydream about Colonel Sanders, and you miss most of the important parts. When you come to, Sprinkles is holding a tray of food in front of you. Well, but... Naturally, this appears to be a sample platter. Which item do you want to sample? A glass of water. You grab the glass of water and gulp it down. Cool, crispy, like the purest snow melted by a mountain spring. Hey, that was mine. It was for my favorite toilet. You owe me $6. And you've got excellent taste. You think to yourself, geez, I should really pay more attention.
You don't make mistakes. I'm sure he'll forgive you. Someday.
Come on, it's time for lunch. Before anybody can relax, the cafeteria light. And your rivals enter to make a dramatic announcement. Today's lunch will be prepared via time competitive cook-off. The level of theaters with these two is off the charts. Fuck it, you're on. A bit of lunchtime competition, eh? Count me in, even if I have to wipe the tables with your blood.
Calm down.
Before I set my lunch down on it, then so be it. I'm not the fool, you're the fool. Good one, Van Van. I like your grumption, but I'll be watching your performance. Just as things reach a boiling point, Sprinkle steps in. Surely he'll put a stop to this madness. Now, students, please settle down. This is a lunchroom, not a sportsing court. Finally, a little sense. You breathe in a sign of relief. At least, not until we turn on the timer. Just then a huge light blasts you in the face, flashing the word timer ready. That's what I'm talking about. I stand corrected. The hard way builds solidly a foundation of confidence that cannot be swept away. And that's an original quote by me, in case anyone was wondering. I hope the message lifts you to victory. Like a diamond, I was formed under pressure, and now is my chance to shine. I will defeat you myself. You had your chicken and you had mashed potatoes and gravy on day one, and you're feeling like you can really impress him here again. It's time to boil some water for the potatoes. Think fast, if the timer runs down, you'll be forced to pick randomly. Which temperature does water boil at? 100 degrees Celsius? That's right, but how would you have gotten into the school without knowing that? Winner gets to rub my furry belly. Let that enticing offer motivate you. You're gonna need to season the chicken before you cook it. You don't know Colonel Sanders' recipes exactly, but you have an idea. How many herbs? 11. That's right, you might not know the ingredients yet, but at least you're headed in the right direction. Now that you've got some basic steps going, it's time to elevate your craft. What state of mind offers you the most flavor? Trust. That's wrong. Damn, I'm begging you to get it together. Get it? I'm a dog. It's never the wrong time for some dog jokes. I don't get it. Next question. Your classmates are rooting for you, but Ashley is simply stronger and faster than you. You better pick up the pace if you want to survive. When you were a child, your father told you to never forget where you came from. Every day you meditate on his advice and draw energy from that place. Now, it would be a great time to harness that energy, so where does it come from? A small town where big dreams are born. God fucking damn it. This is a horrible time to start forgetting things. You try to shut out the noise of the arena and focus on your cooking. Where's the sound of success? Silence. When they taste your cooking, they will be so taken with it that they're unable to speak. You notice Colonel Sanders out the corner of your eye. I believe in you, but... He's actually cheering you on, which would be awesome, except knowing he's watching you makes you totally forget what you were doing. Now all you can think about is Colonel Sanders. How many spoonfuls of gravy? Damn it, what were you thinking? Get your mind back into the competition. You are stranded on a desert island with only one dessert cookbook. Which do you take? What a hunk. I know, right? You know what? Shouldn't you be focused on the challenge? You're falling behind. What does that even have to do with crafting spectacular fried chicken and delicate baked biscuits? Damn it. You're really struggling to keep up. At the next station over, Ashley has already begun plating her elements of her dish. It's colorful and complex. To make up time, you toss your biscuit dough in a stand mixer. As you do, the crowd gasps.
Hey, yikes. I know you love nothing more than seeing a fellow appliance utilized in a kitchen battle, but sometimes that means sacrificing the personal touch. You might not have any hands, but Bud does, and a good chef needs to be touching the dough to know when it's properly mixed.
There's an easy way and a hard way. You don't get far by doing the easy way. When you hear everyone talking, you realize how serious your error was. You immediately shove your hand into the stand mixer to rescue your dough before it's overmixed.
But no!
But you're not fast enough and your hand gets stuck. It's immediately crushed by the quickly spinning beaters. There's no way you'll be able to use that hand for the rest of the match. Colonel Sanders shakes his head in shame. What you often find is that the easy way can turn out much, much more difficult. Everyone stop what you're doing right now. The battle is over. It can't be. I was so close to finishing my dish. Sweetheart, look at your hand. You simply can't go on. Oh, that's too bad. And here I am with a completed dish ready to serve. Surely that makes me the winner by default. No, it wouldn't be fair to compare the two on account of Butt's injury. You see Sprinkles begin to lick his doggy chops as he looks onto the dish. But I suppose you should at least tell us what you prepared? Well, because I'm the sweetest, I skipped straight to the dessert. Under this white chocolate dome, you'll find a wide array of delights, taking you on a journey of flavor that tastes good and tells a story of excellence. I was going to ask Bud to do the honor, but since you're injured, I'm afraid that pouring this creamer of delicate hot chocolate sauce might be too difficult. Bitch, I have two hands. Hand me the creamer. Colonel Sanders, if you wouldn't mind lending me your strong, steady hand. Colonel Sanders pours the hot chocolate sauce on top of the dome, causing it to melt away, revealing the ingredients within. Inside, you find a delicate fried cheese croquette, a type of slice of honeycomb, ice cream 2 ways, tender nougat, and pearls of blueberry gelée. Colonel Sanders seems intrigued, but perhaps not impressed as he digs his finger into the chocolate sauce. Simplicity isn't your strong suit, is it, Ashley? Oh, you. As he places a sauce-covered finger down to his lips, Ashley leans over to whisper something into his ear. A dab of sauce sticks to his mustache. I'm gonna internalize the rage. I think I've already embarrassed myself enough. Your rage burns so intensely within your eyes that they burst into flames. The flames cause your eyebrows to catch fire and turn to ash, and they fall off your face, which means people will have a hard time understanding your emotions for the rest of the semester, perhaps forever. Embarrassed and ashamed by your poor performance, not to mention your crispy fried brow, you run for the quad to be alone. The beautiful weather feels like an insult. Inside of you, a storm rages. It's Colonel Sanders. He's probably here to tell you that he and Ashley are in love and have decided to get married. And he won't even ask you to cater his wedding because you're a terrible chef and an awful person. You try to run from him, but he approaches you directly. I know you're hurting right now. Not just from the devastating loss, but from that run-in with the mixer and that small fire. We should get that checked out. I'm fine, can't you just leave me alone? I'm a loser, I'm not fit to fill your fryer. I'll never be a master chef. Failure is a part of life. Not just for you, but for all of us. Do you think I've never failed at anything before? That's exactly what I think. Well then, think again. I wasn't always the man you see before you. Enrolled in culinary school. Incredibly handsome, successful, motivated. Well, handsome, sure. I was born that way. But I've walked other paths and arrived at dead ends. I was passionate about life, but I failed as an obstetrician. I was passionate about justice, but I failed as a lawyer. I was passionate about livestock, but I even failed as a mule handler. That one was especially humiliating. Mules can be so cruel. I lost my business partner to a gunfight. I didn't know. How would you? What is he on? Now I gotta look this up.
Well, smack my ass and call me Judy.
People see my delicate ribbon tie and my well-kept beard and assume that I've got it all together, which is true now, but it hasn't always been. Sounds like this guy could really use a hug. I resolved then that I was going to amount to something. No amount of hours, labor, or money would deter me from giving the best I had to give. As Colonel Sanders changes focus, you see something. You can see something ignite inside of him, a burning passion. One has to remember that every failure can be a stepping stone to something better. My new dream is pure. It's honest. It's something that a humble man in a crisp white suit can be proud of. I will create a new chain of chicken restaurants that will bring joy to the entire world and make up for my past misdeeds. Yay! Just as your moment grows intimate, you're interrupted by a threatening, shadowy presence. Battle scared from the night before, you prepare for the worst. It's a spork monster! Orko? It is I. I know I said I wouldn't be back, and after the whole fight to the death thing, maybe you don't really want to see me anymore, but I just wanted to say that I was wrong to attack you and I apologize. I know what it's like having to always look over your shoulder. Monster problems, am I right? Thanks, Porco. I'm glad there are no hard feelings. Getting jumped by a giant creature in the dark of the night can really rile up a person. I also want to apologize for the way that I switched right into attack mode. I know that you're strong and cooking school can put a person under a lot of stress. I actually used to go to the school. I wasn't always a spork monster, you know. I don't believe it. You were a human once? Well, no. I was a golden retriever, but I was still a student. Until one day, some mean kids with a magic spellbook cast a dark enchantment on me, and I was forever transformed. A magic spellbook. Precisely. I had procured a copy for myself, but somewhere along the way I've lost it. If you find such a book, I beg you, respect it. You're a powerful chef, and you shouldn't rely on such dark and evil magic. No, you should be protecting the innocent from those who cheat them through sorcery and guile. If you need me, don't fear, I will be there. It sounds like there are some bad cooks in the kitchen of life, but together, I am sure we can defeat them. Come back to my hideaway and we can discuss. Excuse me, a personal invite. You can't imagine what Colonel Sanders' home must be like, but it sounds like you're about to find out. Yeah, it makes sense. Stepping inside Sanders' home, surrounded by his things, you start to feel a special bond with him. It looks like you have such an exciting life, Colonel Sanders. Every day can be an adventure if you approach it with the right attitude. Long ago, I made the decision to never stop searching, never stop working, never stop imagining. Have you been working on any new recipes of your own lately? I'm always excited to talk about food with another ambitious chef. Well, there is something. It's just a side dish that I've been tinkering with, trying to find the right balance of flavor and textures. Not sure I've nailed it yet, but I'm close. Colonel Sanders' eyes perks up as he starts to wonder what dish you might be describing. It's meant to be paired with something spicy or something crispy, both perhaps. Now you've gotten right where you want him. Should you reveal your new creation to him, or keep it a secret just for you? Nah, you can have it, bro. You decide that you're as ready as you'll ever be to share your original cooking with Colonel Sanders. Before you can talk yourself out of it, you decide to dive in head first. You reach into your lunch bag for a special dish that you've been keeping on nice all day. I present to you my original coleslaw. The shredded cabbage dish glistens in the light of Colonel Sanders' luxe hideaway. Magnificent! Together you chow down on the creamy slaw, until just a spoonful remains in the bowl. Do you mind if I hold on to the last bite? I'd like to have it around so I can admire its taste later and think back on this moment. You could offer to make him more, but he seems like a very sentimental kind of guy. Sure, why not? Please make yourself comfortable. I'll be back in just a moment. This really just seems like the story of Colonel Sanders stealing, like, whatever. You realize that now would be the perfect time to do some snooping. Around the room are various items that you can look closer at. Each item seems to radiate memories and emotions. Tap an item to discover more about the Colonel. You gaze out the window across the vast lake and mountains rages beyond. Just then, the ghost of student pops up. Are you thinking about heading out to the world on a quest to avenge my death? What? I never even learned your name. Why would I avenge you? I could just tell you my name right now. Can't you see I'm in the middle of something? You open the window a crack and the ghost is swept up with a breeze. You notice a very realistic stuffed chicken sitting on a corner table. When you pick it up, you realize it isn't just realistic, it's real. Taxidermy must have been important to Colonel Sanders when he was alive. A little note clipped to the chicken's foot reads, "The true state bird of the great state of Kentucky." My goodness. A lack of silver hair is woven through the teeth of the comb. On further inspection, you realize that the hair therein isn't just silvery in color, it's actually made of spun silver. A scented candle. You pick it up and try to identify the smell. Power tool? Freshly starched collar? Piece of wood floating in a lake? Summer of 69? No, it's one of the secret recipe ingredients. It's
straight bread.
Tap on an item to discover. Hey, relax. One of the framed photos shows an old man who looks a bit like Colonel Sanders, standing with a friend. They hold fried chicken drumsticks and appear to be cheersing them. That's not what it looks like to me. You look closely and see that there's a short inscription. I wonder who my friend Pete is. The photo appears to be Colonel Sanders, except he's an old man visiting the pyramids of Egypt? Maybe this is where he discovered one of his secret herbs and spices? An adorable little baby boy crawls across the floor. From the goatee and mustache combo he sports, you'll figure that this must be Colonel Sanders himself. That, or maybe it's a drumstick that he seems to be waving around like a rattle. Who frames a baby picture of just themselves? Probably the same type of person who would make their own face the logo of the company they founded, right? You take a closer look at the large urn sitting on the nearby pedestal. There's a plaque on it. It's dusty, but when you wipe it off, you can read the inscription. It says, "Here lies the ashes of my past careers and business failures." Poor guy. This seems like a nightmare guy. This might be where he keeps the secret recipe. You think for a moment. What number is important to Colonel Sanders? Then it dawns on you. As soon as you turn the dial to 111111. Oh, right. The safe opens. Inside it, you find a single note. Can chicken be prepared sashimi style? Get the fuck out of here. Tap on an item to discover. You open the door to Colonel Sanders' closet and find a row of his signature white suits hanging within. You take one off its hanger and try it on. The jacket is a bit big on you, but it's soft, it's cut and comfortable. You give yourself a deep hug, breathing in his scent. They say that home is where the heart is. Is this what they meant? Before you can look any further, you hear Colonel Sanders returning. He has a new dish that he's been working on and wants you to taste it. You try to act casual until he asks why you're wearing his jacket. I don't usually loan those out, but I must say it looks good on you. Oh, crap, the jacket. You got to take it off. You confess. I think I've developed feelings for you. Wait, what? I didn't mean to confess. Oh, fuck. I mean, Jesus. I might be developing feelings for you too, but I'm concerned. I can't let anything get in the way of my dreams. Overwhelmed, you take off the jacket and run for the door. But the thought of leaving Colonel in the midst of such an emotional breakthrough gives you pause. You stop yourself. Colonel? Yes, but I honestly think this may be the beginning of something wonderful. I think you're right. We should take things slow. You talk late into the night and drift off into a slumber. Dream sequence. You awake to a beautiful morning in Colonel Sanders' hideaway. Did you make the right decision on how to respond to Colonel Sanders? Only time will truly tell. Today's a day that could change the rest of your life. You think about the new secret ingredient you just learned about.
Straight bread.
In some jurisdiction,
Straight bread.
it's not even legal. But if the recipe is a secret, how will they know? Your thoughts are interrupted when Colonel Sanders emerges into the room. He's holding a gorgeously plated breakfast and your mouth waters at the sight of it. Here's a simple breakfast that just whipped up. It's meticulous. You taste Colonel Sanders' food and it takes you on a journey. When you return, he's waiting to ask you an important question. So, would you say that we're the perfect match? How presumptuous. My cuisine and your taste buds, that is. Such confidence. Such grace. Could he be the world's greatest gift to cockery?
Stupid.
Yeah, I'll butter him up. You know, I think we might make a great team. A single tear begins to pool in the corner of his eye as he gazes out the window. And with the right business partner, I know I can't fail. Business partner? Could he be talking about you? It's all happening so quickly. Overcome with emotion and confused by your feelings, you're on the verge of tears. Unable to speak, the only answer you can find is to run out the door and go home. There's still one more day of school after all. The University of Cooking School Academy for Learning waits for no one.